in. We work with the ones that deserve it, not the ones that need it. It's equal commitment for equal commitment. But if I see somebody and believe in them, you invest into proven people and into proven systems. What's a proven system? Juice Plus Live. So even when I didn't have the money in the beginning, Adam, you get yourself here. I'll pick up your room and tax for 3 nights. I might put double occupancy. I might have to stack 4 people in there. Or we used to book houses and have like a big freaking slumber party so people could all stay there, right? The shake blenders going and everybody, the blow dryers, we didn't have enough bathrooms. I mean, it was crazy. But we would load up the houses. And I got Lauren to the conference because I believed in her and I invested in her to get her to the conference. And she sat in the front row next to me because distributors do what you do, not what you tell them to do. If you guys notice where I sit at conference, front row, taking notes like it's my very first conference because they see that. You're laughing, they're laughing. You're crying, they're crying. You stand up. I don't get it why people don't stand up when we have a new national marketing director being introduced to the stage. I really feel like I need to teach people how the psychology of a meeting, the pre-meeting, the post-meeting, how you act as a distributor in that room when you have new people there. I mean, your new guests are looking around at your physiology, how you're playing, what level you're showing up at. But invest back into proven people and a proven system. I'm looking at Peter and Louise back here, our great master distributors for Australia. Let's give them another big hand for the job they've done. Can I tell the story with Linda? And Lauren didn't share it, but I'll tell you what happened. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that happened to Cheryl Cortese. Cheryl Cortese, when I sponsored Cheryl, back in January of '88, a mom, 2 kids, a school teacher in Louisiana, 25 years of marriage, she's divorced, she's scared, she doesn't know how she's going to put her kids through school on a teacher's salary, and Cheryl must have told me no 50 times. She wouldn't even answer the phone. She would just, it went from no to hell no to no. And I said, look, Cheryl, I'm coming to New Orleans. I'm going to set up a 90-day game plan. I used to use everybody know what a newspaper is? I used to run ad campaigns in the newspaper. I could get the phone to ring off the hook, create curiosity, people that were looking. And I do group presentations 3 times a day. I went and sponsored Bob and Sue Burdick, another one of my top lines. We did 84 presentations a month when I was with Bob and Sue. We worked our butts off. They came in and borrowed their rent money to start their business. But with Cheryl, same thing happened that happened with Linda. I sponsored another guy named Lynn over in Lafayette, and Cheryl was in New Orleans, and Lynn was kind of one of these macho guys, and he made a comment that no little school teacher over here in New Orleans is going to do anything. I'm going to own the state of Louisiana. She's not going to do anything. Wrong thing to say to Cheryl. The hair went up on her neck. I'll show him. And sometimes it's a comment like that. And you know what, Peter? It was said. Linda's in the room. She wasn't part of that big organization over there under Danny Martin and Steve Coulter in that group, right? And the word came out, orphan. Ooh, Linda's an orphan? Big mistake. Actually, not a big mistake. Because what happened is the challenge was thrown out there, right? It's kind of like taking it away from someone. I love what Luke said. What Luke said to the young guy that was on stage, right? What's his first name again? Brett. Judy Blue's son, right? And what was the t-shirt? I crushed my wife's dreams. And then on the back, ask me how. I loved it. I loved it. No, it was the chiropractor from Canada, where you're up in Banff. And then you said to him at the end, what did you say?
Well, he said he can't do it. I said, you're right, you can't do it. Let's quit talking.
So he took it away. Oh, you can't do it. You're right. What did he do? He stepped up. So what I'm trying to give you some examples here. I'll never forget when I came home from my first conference, was crying in the car driving home. I had chills in my body. I was thanking God for answering my prayers. I'll never forget when I came home, my friends laughed at me. They told me my product was no good, the opportunity was no good, and I was no good. And back then we had a filter, and I decided I wasn't going to let anybody filter my dreams. That's good, Jeffrey. Every now and then you get one. I wasn't going to let anybody filter my dreams. I wasn't going to let anybody rain on my parade. But they threw the challenge out at me, and I was like, you know what? You can make money or you can make excuses in life, Jeff, but you can't make both. And I ripped up that list of excuses, and a great word to have in your vocabulary is the word next. Say less to more people. Don't beg them. You don't have to convince them, right? You got to go out there and just keep sharing, keep moving forward. You look at what's going on around the world today. You look at Katie, what she created over in the UK. The UK wasn't doing anything. How many years ago was that? 6 years ago, nothing. She got creative, she got innovative, and said, you know what? Social media. How about if I market vanity? How about if I market the complete? How about if I tie some skinny rules into it? And it started the whole social media revolution around the world. Let's give Katie another big hand for what she did. Something finally got it, and now it's popping in Germany, and I got this guy named Paolo Meucci in Italy, in Roma. 4 years ago, he was struggling. Paolo he'd been in the business 15 years. He was a good life, but he was stuck. Sylvia, where's Sylvia? She's in here. Right there, stuck, right? Stuck. I was stuck. I was stuck. For 15 years, 39 clubs, making $100,000 a year, but stuck. He realized after what he saw Katie do, I got to learn some new skills and become more valuable to the marketplace. The concepts, the basics, the fundamentals haven't changed, but the techniques, the different means and ways of telling the story. Remember a rotary dial phone in this room? Huh? I was excited when I could fax a piece of paper to someone, right? A newspaper, there was different tools back then. But Paul realized, I need to get some new blood. So he got a couple young twins over there, the two boys that he brought in. And they started building their business and started to learn some skills and building it through social media. I'll never forget, I called Paulo up one time. It was about 3-4 years ago. And it was his birthday. I said, Paulo, hey, it's Jeff Roberti. He goes, oh, Jeff Roberti, hi. I said, Paulo, I called to wish you a happy birthday. Oh, thank you. I said, Paulo, how's your business? He goes, my business? My business exploda. Exploda? Exploda? What do you mean exploda? I go, what do you mean? He goes, one word, Facebooka. Facebooka. I go where the people are. So he started following what Katie did and started building his business on Facebook. He now went from 10,000 a month, this is a leadership room, I'm going to tell you what he went from 4 years ago, to he's over 100,000 a month. There's somebody who's been in business 15 years. You see Adam and Karen, the job they've done. In 4 years, approaching 400 club, right? $1 million pace earners now. Showing you what's possible. You see Katie, you see all these stories, the Lindas. I mean, I don't want to leave anyone out, but you know the stories. So it's on. The best years are ahead of us, not behind us. I would bet everything I've made over the last 31 plus years, over everything, that the next 30 years are going to be even bigger and better. The awareness today, thank you. So, where I'm going with this is you guys have just got to go through this and say, you know what? Make a decision. We talked about it, Luke, it's called RPM, right? RPM, like the RPM on your car. It's not what do I got to do. It's not a to-do list. The R stands for what results. It's results driven. What specific measurable results do you want from your business? Right? Results driven. Lauren talked about it. Vision. Have some kind of vision. Clarity. Clarity is power. What do you want? What do you have to do to make this business a bigger priority in your life? Treat it like a business or treat it like a hobby. And once you do that, you get what you want. The P is for what, guys? Purpose. It's purpose. It's results focused. Purpose driven. Reasons come first. Why are you doing this business? Peel the layer of the onion. The how part's the easy part. You got to get the why part down. My why back then was out of desperation. I was dissatisfied. I was looking for things to change in my life financially. Today it's out of inspiration to pay it forward. I'll never forget where I came from. We're here for you. Lauren and I and Cheryl and Linda and some of the leaders. We're here to pay it forward. Never forgetting where you came from. It's your grand opening. It's your chance. There's emotional and spiritual revenue. It's like the Visa commercial. It's priceless when you help someone and believe in them and help them realize their dreams, whether it's with their health or their finances. So that's the P, the purpose-driven. Reasons come first. Find something that's emotionally charged, that has a compelling future, a why that'll make you cry, that'll get you up early and keep you up late. And the last one is M, for massive action plan. If you're going to do this thing, give it a good yes. Step up. Step up and really get after this thing. How do you guys eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So you just got to start doing the basics and the fundamentals, and then you build for these big events, whether they're in Australia or North America or over in Europe, and you load up the dams. You put the countdown on your phone. I'll tell you how many days till Tampa, our next U.S. conference, 172 days. Countdown. They're coming in my backyard. I'm only an hour away from Tampa.
And your closing conference.
Well, man, now look at the act I have to follow. Thank you very much, Lauren. She raised the bar to another level, didn't she? Amazing. Let's hear it for her. But I'm up for the challenge. I like it. I love it. I love it. Just keep raising that bar. Because aren't you the happiest in life when you have to grow? When there's progress equals happiness. So, I'll never forget Jim Rohn telling me, he says, Jeff, when you're that broke waiter climbing the valley, there's going to be tremendous growth. He said the biggest challenge you're going to have is when you get to the top and you have success, people tend to sit at the table of success too long. And you stop growing. You celebrate. Right? To continue to grow and stretch and get into uncharted waters and keep growing. Once you've had some success. If you're green, you grow. If you're ripe, you rot. Not funny either. Some of my jokes just don't work. But I'm just telling you, so you keep growing and you say, okay, I'm going to go home, make a commitment, I'm going to do my RPM, I'm going to hold myself accountable and step up. So I've gone over the amount of time I wanted to go over here. I've got other events to go to, but I want to just say, Lauren's like a sister to me. She is. I have my younger brother, Jonathan, in the back of the room. Yay. Johnny, stand up. Wait for my brother, Johnny.
Yay, John!
And he was a big part of my health transformation. We lost our other brother, Paulie, 3 years ago. Paulie was just a couple, 2-3 years younger than me, and he died at 49 of heart attack. My dad died at 46. Matter of fact, 2 years ago, when I showed up here, I tell people 250, but I was really 260. And sometimes success can be a double-edged sword when you're traveling and entertaining, eating in restaurants every night, drinking wine. I put on 5 pounds a year over a 12-year period. And my physical mastery, I've lost it. And people were worried. And I came home from the conference 2 years ago, and I met with my cardiologist, and he's been a friend of mine for 20 years. And he said, Jeff, with your family history, and with your weight, and your blood pressure, and your cholesterol, and your trials, it's not if, it's when. Because you are a walking time bomb. And I went home that night, And it was late. Joanna was asleep, and I was in my office. It was probably 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, Luke, and I looked over and I had a picture of my dad sitting on my desk, and I started to cry. And I saw a picture of Paulie, and I really started to cry. And then I saw a vision of my mom's face and the pain she was in burying my brother, burying her son. That was it. Enough's enough. I reached a breaking point. You talk about a threshold, a breaking point, a moment in time, a defining moment. I did it. And I went back to him. I said, you know what? I tore up that list of excuses, and I said, you know what, Jeff? Raise your standards. Raise your standards. The wheel of life, all these other areas look great. Financial, emotional, spiritual, relationship. But physical mastery was really bad. And so I called people up and I said, you know what? I'm going to stay home. And they said, good, you should. We're worried about you. I said, I need to focus on me. And you know what I decided? Not only raise my standards, but I was going to live the mission. I was going to get a new product story. I was going to show up as an example, not a warning. Walk the talk, right? Inspire you so you can inspire other people, right? Treat your body like a temple, not an amusement park. I want to give you a little laugh. Like, you know what? Everybody says, well, Jeff, what'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you do? Do we not all know what to do? We don't know what to do. You just got to do what you know. And so I found it complete. If you actually open it and drink it, it works better, by the way. It's on the counter over there. Johnny with the towers, 3 words. Eat more plants. Went to a high plant-based diet. Didn't eat after 6 o'clock. Got rid of the dinner plate. Started eating off a bread plate. Started chewing my food. What an idea this was to actually chew your food and break it down. Instead of inhaling it and washing it down with a bottle of wine. And I wonder why you're tired the next morning when you had a big dinner at 9, 10 o'clock at night. Wow. Captain Obvious, Dick Tracy, get a clue here. So I started making some lifestyle changes, some behavioral modification. I show up today and I took that weight off in a 6-month period. People saw me in St. Louis. The next conference, 2016, literally they thought they saw a ghost. They couldn't believe it. So then they came up to me at the next conference in Anaheim, spring of 2017. Look at me, Jeff, I lost 20 pounds. I lost 30 pounds. I saw you, and you inspired me to go do it.
Awesome.
That's why I did it. So I could be congruent, relevant. I show up now, 185 pounds. That's where I started the business, guys. Of course, there's pressure, right? You lose all that weight for 6 months, and then you can't show up fat again at the next conference. So there's the pressure of maintaining it. So it's like, now you gotta follow Lauren, closing the conference, and keep the weight off. Okay. But you know what? I didn't do it out of vanity. Is it nice buying a large, skinny T-shirt now and some skinny jeans? Yeah. You know, you're wearing 3X. When I went up to do an event after I'd lost all this weight, the 50 pounds, and I went up in the fall of 2016 up to, where do they live? Where Market live? What's the name of that town? Not Canmore, but Kelowna. And I had all the Fat Jeff clothes. And I needed some new clothes. Quality problem, I guess, right? So I go into a men's shop there in Kelowna, and I start trying on shirts, and I'm still trying on 3X shirts. And the 2 ladies in the men's shop said to me, that doesn't fit you. That doesn't look, and I didn't believe it. Because, when you've been overweight for a long time like that, I didn't really trust it. And I was still trying on the baggy shirts. And then they gave me some nice fitted, large shirts and some skinny jeans. And I was like, okay, get into this. So I share that story with you because I had a breakthrough 2 years ago about my health and tore up the list of excuses and raised my standards. 30-some years ago when I came to my first conference, just like you've experienced, tore up that list of excuses and had a breakthrough and stepped up. That was a defining moment. That was a moment in time. That was enough's enough, a threshold. So I share that story with you to maybe inspire you to find out what it is that's going to juice you. you're going to put in that extra 10% effort. So in closing, I just wanted to say this. Lauren, love you like a sister. You're amazing. Never giving up on you. And the thing I love the most about Lauren, she's got a great skill set. Yeah, she's very talented. She's got a Rolodex of contacts all over the world. She's been in the Tony Robbins environment for 25 plus years. But the thing I love the most about Lauren is her heart. She's a giver. She's a giver. And you notice people that do well in our business, if they're not a nice person, they don't last here. If it's all about me, they're all in their head. If you're in your head, you're dead. If it's not shifted to here, they don't make it in our business. They might make it for a little bit, but they don't stay around long term. And that's the thing I love the most about Lauren. So let's give her another big hand.